Automotive Servicing students. I am Ma'am Giselle H. Laksamana and I will be your TLE teacher for today. So today, let us learn on how to prepare report of malfunctioning tools. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so if you are ready, let us proceed. So, preparing report for malfunctions of hand tools in unplanned or unusual events. So here is, we will be learning on how to report the malfunctioning tools in unusual events. Okay, so tools are made for use. Its life cycle must be used to its maximum effectiveness. So it is designed to give its purpose so that work becomes easy and efficient. So a tool that is 100% usable brings joy to the one using it, right? So, but a faulty tool that is unsafe to use, and it is not recommended for use because of its risk to workplace activities. Okay, so a faulty tools creates headaches and irritation, right? If you are using a defective tools, it's not comfortable to use those tools. So it brings you headache or irritation, right? So that is why faulty tools must be recorded, marked, and reported at once. Okay? So defective tools can be repaired according to company procedure. So if we have or discovered a defective or faulty tools in our workshop, it can be still repaired. So this is essential in restoring back their technical specifications. So a good example is the drill bit's angular cutting edge. So if standard procedure is not followed in sharpening its edge, it will not cut effectively compared to its original specifications. So though partially defective tools can be reconditioned for another form of use. If we have a partially defective tools, it can still be reconsidered or used into another tool that we can use or reconditioned or still repaired. Okay, so but tools must be set apart according to its serviceability. It is important that defective or faulty tools must be marked. So because marking will mean that they are not to be used or are intended for repair or conditioning. It is important that we are marking our tools in our workshop because we should be identifying it for repair or for reconditioning or for disposal. Okay? So here are some effects of defective tools that can result in the following consequences. First one, it reduces work efficiency. So it decreases work effectiveness and additional time allotment is needed to finish the work. Therefore, delay of work is sure. So if we uses a faulty tools, it decreases our work efficiency. That's right. Is it right? Okay, the next one, of course, it lessens the concentration of the user. So frequent breakdown or change of tools because of its faulty conditions affect the mental focus of the user. It creates anxiety and apprehension, thus delaying the work instead of finishing it on time. Diba? Of course, if we uses a faulty tools, it lessens our concentration. Of course, we will be repairing it from time to time, and it's a waste of time. And then it decreases credibility. So competitiveness is the language of service. So once the customers perceives that worker or serviceman uses faulty tools without giving it notice, it lessens their trust and confidence. Of course, if we saw that our customers saw us using a faulty tools, it lessens their trust. We lose our credibility or decreases our credibility. Okay. So in order to avoid these situations, proper inventory of tools must be conducted, recorded, and updated. So reporting the conditions of good, faulty, and damaged tools will give an account of their present condition. So it will give a basis for disposal, if damage is severe or beyond recovery, for recycling, if fault can be corrected and repaired, and reuse to another form of service. Okay? So a broken hacksaw can be recycled to another form, like converting it to a sharp blade for stripping electrical wire. So maintenance of tools entails cleaning and doing simple repair in order to prolong their uses. Okay? Here is the sample. So on our first column, we have the item number. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And then the source of fund, if the tools where it came from, the fund that is used to buy those tools. For example, the national, and then the DO, and then SEF. So for the description, we have to describe the tool properly. So just like in that example, it's an open wrench. So drop forge, Sakura, Japan. So it's made on Japan. So and then its quantity, 1 set or 12 pieces. And so on and so on. And then the remarks. So we are putting remarks on our inventory of uses, like for example, for disposal, for repair, or for recondition. Okay, so and then it is prepared and submitted by who make the inventory, or the proper tool supply officers, and then it is confirmed and certified true and correct by the department head and the principal, or in your case as a student, in your teacher. Okay, so next is the sample account of tool condition. So item number, again, source of fund, and then the description of the tools, and then the remarks or condition, if it is good, defective, or condemnable. So if it is still good, it's still usable, and then you check the table or the space in that tool. And then if it's defective, it needs to be repaired, and then you also check that. And then condemnable, or for disposal, you check if that tool is condemnable or for disposal. Okay, and then, do you understand our topic or our lesson for today? Okay, if yes, let us now move on to another topic. It is to maintain hand tools. We are now on our lesson 4, so maintain hand tools. Okay, standard operational procedure, principles, and techniques in maintaining tools. So tool management is a manifestation of a good serviceman or any person working with tools. And then the way a person manages his tools has bearing on the way he manages his personal property. So if we manage, we can see if we manage our tools properly, or we manage it not responsibly, we can see it can reflect on how we manage our personal property. Okay, so much to say, a good tool manager is efficient in listing and keeping records. So up-to-date records of tools, both the old and new, both must be entered to the register of tools. Okay, basically, fundamental principles and techniques in maintaining tools at the minimum level is good enough, but the more routine schedule you make, the better. So it will only take a matter of time, only 1 or 2 hours to maintain. So sometimes it takes more than what expected time and is consumed depending on the extent of the number and size. But sometimes, of course, we exceed our expected time. Okay, but it's alright. So the more important thing is that we maintain our tools and keep it in a good condition, okay? So, operational procedure in tools and equipment maintenance. First one, we have safe use. So, assurance of safe use is expected. So, this can be done by knowing the purpose, application, requirement of tools and equipment. So, we sure ensure the safe use of our tools. So, because without this know-how, the user will only be guessing and wrong use is expected. So, risk of injury is more likely to happen. Okay, so shop and industry owners are expected to train the workers or their workers and for them to build morale and reduce the danger. So next, safekeeping. Regular maintenance of tools and equipment through safekeeping must be a part of the health and safety of user and owners. So then, because the dangers to theft and exposure to moisture is avoided. So property is taken care of and the risk is evaded. Okay, so putting the tools and equipment and paper documents such as manual of specifications in a very protected but easy to retrieve place is a good habit of safekeeping. So it is important that we keep our tools and equipment and manuals in a safe place. So storage room must be properly locked and ventilated. Of course, if we put our tools in a storage room, it should be locked and has a ventilation for it to have a proper flow of air and for our tools to be safe. Okay? Next are the safety signs and symbols. By putting safety signs and symbols, users are informed and warned of what to do and what not to do. So, risk is limited and put in control. Specifically, safety signs for mechanical, electrical, pneumatic, hydraulic must be clearly defined and placed in a visible area. So if we put a safety sign and symbols, it is very important in a workplace, of course. It should be visible to all the people or worker in that shop or workplace, because those signs and symbols prevent accidents. Okay. Next is safety protection. The use of personal protective equipment or PPE is necessary. So suitability of PPE to the workplace must conform with the work being done. So it must be comfortable so that the user will not be irritated. So the PPE can control health risk and decrease possibility of threat and or injury. So what are the examples of our PPEs? So one of the example of our PPE is the goggles. It is used to protect our eyes, and then the mask, it is used to protect us when there's a dust or something that is physical that can contaminate in our body. And then the gloves, it protects our hands. And then there's also an ear muffs that protects from too much noise. And then we should also have the safety shoes to protect our foot. And then the apron, it protects our clothes from any elements or whatever anything that is slip or in a shop. Okay, so those are for the safety protection of the worker. Okay. Okay, so that will be all. It is on how to maintain our hand tools. Okay, so have you learned anything? Okay, if yes, and I am happy to hear that. Okay, so thank you so much for listening, and for our source, we have the automotive servicing module course and the 7 and 8 learning module. Okay.